YTBC, what's the deal? Hey, I'm not gonna lie, man. Right now, I'm a happy boxing fan. On my other channel, Mr. Boxing Today, I had made a video about the heavyweight prospects, mainly the U.S. heavyweight prospects, but just all of them. But with the U.S., I want to see, some of these U.S. guys get in there with each other, because we know the U.K. has their undefeated fighters. They were talking about Joshua versus Cornish, and then they wanted Joshua versus White. So I want to see some of the U.S. guys start to get in there with each other, mix it up, so they can start separating themselves. And Gerald Washington and Dominic Breazeale and all those guys I was mentioning about 3 months ago, well, the boxing gods heard me. Now, is this some type of, big, huge unification type of showdown? No, it's not. But still, at the same time, it's the heavyweight division. To me, the best division in boxing history. Just my opinion. So, October 3rd, PBC, Premier Boxing Champions, going to put together a doubleheader. Gerald Washington versus Amir Mansour. Dominic Breazeale versus Fred Kassi. Those are two really good fights right now. Fred Kassi just fought a few months ago against Chris Arreola. They've had to fight a draw. I had Kassi winning a fight 6 rounds to 4. Tricky fighter. He has been knocked out once in his career, and the person who got knocked out is on the card, Amir Mansour, which was a good fight before that knockout happened. That was a good fight. Fred Kassi is very tricky. He goes from southpaw to orthodox simultaneously. He does it throughout the whole fight. That's how he fights. Very athletic, shorter, compact type of heavyweight. Very athletic. I seen the dude do a damn backflip in the middle of the ring after he won a fight. And he's about 6'1", 230. And that's pretty impressive to me for somebody to be able to do that. During his career, he's been inactive. He'll be inactive for 5 years, then come back, then be inactive for 2 years. But when he is in the ring, he is in shape. You know what I'm saying? He's not out of shape. Doesn't have a gut hanging over his trunks. So it's going to be interesting, man, to see this fight with Dominic Breazeale. Breazeale's 6'7", 240 pounds, ex-quarterback. I believe he quarterbacked at Northern Colorado, a Division I school. Didn't make it to the NFL. Took up boxing late. He went to a training center out in Carson, California, where they take heavyweights and pretty much try to manufacture some heavyweights. A big businessman, I forgot the guy's name, but a big businessman developed this type of camp out in Carson, California. I think it's called the American Heavyweight, where he takes, big guys and try to transform them into heavyweights. It's a big training center and got food out there, room, all that type of shit, man. So he started there at 29, 28 years old. So took up boxing late and he made the Olympics, man. So very impressive, So he's an athlete. He's athletic. I seen him against Nagy Aguilera. He was getting tired towards the end of the fight. He won it. He won the fight. It went the full 8 rounds. And Aguilera is tricky, man. We know Aguilera is a tricky pro. Was a very good amateur. He's just a tricky guy to beat. Gerald. I also seen him in there with Gerald Washington too, Nagy Aguilera. But I thought Breazeale, during that fight, it was funny because during the first part of the fight, he was going back to his corner and he was, standing up. Guys go back to the corner a la George Foreman in his second career and just, stand up, in the middle, in between rounds. And he was doing that at first, and then towards the end, he started to sit his ass down. He was gassing. He was getting tired. Wasn't active as he was. Aguilera was able to push him back with some jabs. So with him, it's going to be his endurance, man, and what he has going down the stretch. Kassi's going to be in shape. I think Kassi probably can pull it out, but Breazeale, when you look at him, you look at his body, you think, oh, he can lose a little bit more weight. But obviously he's an athlete. I mean, he was a starting quarterback at a Division I school, man. So, he has to have some type of athletic qualities about him. And he does, but I think a little bit more road work would be, beneficial to him. But he's undefeated right now. So it's going to be an interesting fight, man. It's going to be a very interesting fight between Kassi and Breazeale. I'm going to go further, make another video down, in another week or two and really break down everything with these guys and pick a winner. But right now I'm just excited for the fight. And then the other fight we have Amir Mansour and Gerald Washington. This one's going to be interesting, man, because Washington, again, is a late starter. just like Breazeale. He's about 6'6", 250. I mean, he's muscle bound. This dude has really no fat on him. He's muscle bound as hell. One thing about him, though, you know, usually when guys are big and muscle bound like this, you think of their balance, and he has pretty decent balance. You know, being a Division I football player at USC, you know, like I said, you got to be either a good to great athlete to participate, you know, football at USC. So, you know, then he also played tennis in high school. Kind of funny watching a big, you know, 6'6", 260-pound muscle bound tennis player out there, but you know, he was into tennis, so that lets you know that he has coordination, balance. You know, he's in his mid-30s, so he's not a spring chicken, but you know, neither is Mansour's over 40. But you look at these guys' body and look at the shape they're in, man. They don't look like old guys, you know. And Mansour, I've seen countless Mansour fights. Very entertaining guy to watch. His last fight, I seen him come in and I seen him knock out Fred Kassi, but that was a tough fight before the knockout. But Mansour at his weight, and not a bad thing, but he's starting to come in at, you know, when he fought Joey Dwecko, he came in at a lighter weight, you know, so I'm not sure Amir Mansour at 219 is going to be as effective as, you know, the Amir Mansour that weighs 229, 230. And even when he was up at those weights, I didn't think he was fat. You know, I didn't think he was fat or out of shape, but he thinks losing the weight helps him and gives him better endurance. I don't know, man. I don't know. You know, I think he's going to have to come inside and rough up Washington, even though Washington, you know, hasn't shown to have an excellent jab, like a jab you can't get past type of thing, but he still has the reach advantage. And I think if you let him just, you know, box you from the outside and use his reach and just land that right hand all night, you know, a big man like that landing flush right hands on you, you know, throughout a fight, during the duration of a fight, is going to take its effect. You know, so Amir Mansour is going to have to be the Amir Mansour when he first came back, when he, you know, was coming in and just going balls to the wall and trying to knock guys out, you know, but with using skill, though, you know, because he fought a great fight against Cunningham, even though he lost. The Dwecko fight was good. The Kassi fight was good, you know, so he's had some really good fights, man. So I will break that fight down, too, in another week or two. But right now I'm just excited. The heavyweights, mainly the U.S. heavyweights, they're getting in there. You know, we can't duck each other. We can't do that welterweight bullshit, man, where you're ducking and moving up a division, move down a division to stay away from competition. In a minute here, man, there's only going to be one heavyweight champion. I'd give it another about a year or two. There's only going to be one. You know, we all recognize Vladimir as the heavyweight champion. I'm not going to say one heavyweight champion in 1 or 2 years, because we know Vladimir is a champion, but I mean a fully unified champion, I believe, in the next year or two. Because after this Fury-Vladimir fight, Wilder, whether he has the WBC in a year or two, whoever has that, I think there's going to be a full unification fight in a year or two. So right now is not a good time to get losses, man. You know, everybody wants to win, but right now in the heavyweight division, it's just hard to. It'd be tough right now for guys to take losses, man. You know, Areola, Kassi, even the Tarver versus Cunningham fight that just ended in a draw. That's like, those draws are kind of like life support right now, man. You know, they're kind of like life support right now because these belts aren't divvied up between 4 guys, you know. Now, I'm not talking about the interim belts and the secondary titles. I'm talking about the regular, you know, just the titles that are, you know, that gets the full recognition as being champion, you know. So Vladimir has the WBO, WBA, the IBF. He has the IBO, which I never count that. And then Wilder has the BC. So, you know, it's not like there's 4 guys out there, man, where, you know, you can get a crack at one of those guys. It's going to get thin. It's going to get real thin. And I believe, you know, the Washingtons and the Breazeales, they're with Heyman. So for them to win, it'd probably be better for us fans. Because let's say Wilder does have the BC. Well, Wilder's with Heyman too. So maybe, you know, the fights will be made easier. Plus, they're all PBC fighters, so maybe the fight will be easier to make. Will those guys have the belt? Or if those guys stay undefeated and keep winning and they get a shot at the belt, those fights will be easy to make. But I'm excited, man. I know I'm rambling right now, but I'm just excited about some heavyweight action, man. And in particular, Washington and Breazeale, because I want to see where they're at. Not taking nothing away from Kassi and Mansour, but I kind of know who they are as fighters, but I really don't know who Washington and Breazeale are as fighters. But we will definitely find out, because it's going to be a big step up for both of these guys. I'm out.